do not worry about this little dump, because this is exactly what we need before the actual pump. I do believe the Bitcoin weekend is going to be very bullish. This is literally just coming back for the 50% that we've been waiting. This retrace is the golden nugget. This is where we want to start getting in this region between 66,000 and 62,000. So that's what I'm going to talk about and a bunch of other stuff. I do think it's going to be a weekend bullish. It is upon us, and you have to see the levels. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗬𝗬. Been here since 2016. I bring you 5 to 10 minute updates. If you don't have that, well, leave the channel now. If you do though, subscribe, because apparently 22% of you are not subscribed. So smash the subscribe button, turn the bell notifications on, and come back for another one every single day. Let's get going. Couple of things. I've been telling you since the 14th of February, since Valentine's Day, that I do believe that we are coming into the first decent relief rally since October. Now, I'm not here to brag, but 14th was here, okay? So 14th of February was right here, okay? So from here, we're basically at break even. But, if you zoom out here, this is the rally that I'm talking about. So I know a lot of you are saying that, you know, don't brag because we're at break even. Yes, but again, I do believe that the rally is just about to start. Couple of things that we need to notice. One is that there is major escalations happening in the Middle East, right? So there has not been, Trump now has the largest deployment of US air and naval assets in the Middle East. Now it lists all the stuff that is already there, and this is for Iran, saying or else. Now, the market is not taking this well. So the fact that Bitcoin is holding so well and actually going up is a miracle, especially if you consider Nvidia being down 5%, Apple being down 1%, Google being down 3%. The NASDAQ basically took a nosedive yesterday, and one of the biggest concerns for me is that Nvidia, the largest company on the planet, had insane beat on earnings, yet they are down 5.5%, which signals that there's something really, really wrong. Now, the good news is that negotiations are happening. I think Iran is evaluating their options, and they see that, you know, there's not much to do here. So they are actually having a talks on Monday in Vienna, which is weird, but they are having a talk on Monday in Vienna. So I do believe that the next week will bring volatility, but this basically seals that the weekend can be without any uncertainties. Now, couple of things. One, Bitcoin has never in its life closed red on January and on February. Now, we can have hopium and whatnot. Now, for this to close, for Bitcoin to close positive in February, because it closed negative in January, we should see an 18% pump in the next 3 days. Not happening, okay? So I'm not being delusional. It's not really happening. But this is something to also consider. Again, selling pressure. This has not happened ever. I don't think that there is much lower for now. So the local bottom should, in my opinion, be in. Now, I told you a million times that I do have my trade in here on Bitfunded. I do have the trade set in, and I am riding this up. You see, I'm down about $400, but in case we go to 78,000, which I think is a very reasonable target, I do believe that I am going to pass the challenge. But what about this little thing? Now, I told you that I use Bitfunded as the prop firm, because I would, if I get stopped, I basically lose the price of the challenge. And if I I actually make this trade, then I'm going to unlock a $150,000 or $100,000 account, because you have this deal, you buy one, you get two. And I used one already. I have 3 opened, but yesterday I told you in the community that or the day before yesterday, I told you that I'm buying one. And the reason why I did is because I got in here and I'm waiting for the pullback to happen to get in again, right? So one of the things that I'm trading is Solana. I am in this position. The stop loss is down here, or the account loss is down here. And Bitcoin, where the stop loss or the account loss is down here at 60,000. I believe genuinely that this here is going to be an incredible opportunity to buy in, okay? Nothing is financial advice. Of course, you do whatever you want to do. All I do in this channel is just share with you my opinions, my thoughts. So, but this here is called a liquidity inducement trap. We didn't touch onto the 50% before rocketing, and people thought this was going to be the reversal. Now, people are going to start trading this, and that is going to smash through, whether in New York or London, I don't know yet, but this is going to happen in my opinion, and become sub 2.27 trillion, right? That's the point here. And then here, we're going to form a 5-minute market structure shift. Anywhere here, honestly, I'm not even going to wait for the market structure shift. I am just going to use my other challenge from Bitfunded, and I'm going to get in on a long position. Now, whether it's going to be Bitcoin, whether it's going to be Solana, if Solana comes down to the 81-ish region, it is going to be Solana. If hype comes down to this 27-ish region, probably is going to be hype. I will let you know in the community. The community is a cool place to be. It's completely free. There's a link on top of the description. It's very important. People say that they get scammed because they go into the wrong one. Guys, it's literally on the top of the description. Join that community, okay? So don't get scammed. But that said, there was someone who sent me, actually they tweeted this, they said 905 profit on $99 account, can't thank you enough. This is literally a very good example of how someone made a 10x of their investment by simply actually giving a chance for the challenge. So again, Bitfunded is not our sponsor. We do have an affiliate link. If you use the link in the description, you're not only getting this amazing deal, but you also are, you're also being able to support the channel, which is pretty cool, and I appreciate it. So all that said, I think we have to have a push here. The uncertainty on the S&P. Let's look at the S&P in a second. The uncertainty on the S&P doesn't really help, but I do think that we're gonna go really early. Anywhere in Bitcoin, anywhere. Let me just go into Bitcoin. Anywhere between 66,000 and 62,000. This is our golden pocket. This is where I really want to get in, and this is the level. Now you can either, if you really want to take it safe and whatever, there is a another play, which is just basically wait for this to be touched, the 50% is 66,300, and once that's touched, you want to go down onto the 5-minute time frame and just wait for a 5-minute confirmation. This could be the play if you really want to play it safe. So much so, if you want to play it risky safe, is that could wait for a 5 or a 15-minute market structure shift, and then just put the stop loss here. Not put the stop loss here and have the risk reward. So your stop loss on the account, I might actually do this as well. Because if I blow the account, sure, but the price of the account was my stop loss. So I would have lost this amount anyway. But if I'm right and this thing goes back, imagine if this happens. Imagine if this starts coming down here and it makes a 15-minute market structure like this. And I get in a position here with a stop loss or account loss here at 3%. Look at this. If it goes back, if the stop loss should be $9,000 and $150,000 account, right? If it's 6%. So if it's a $100,000 account, that is $6,000, so on. So you have all these rules, by the way. So you can see this all in the rules on Bitfunded, depending on what account you buy. But here, if Bitcoin just goes back to the 70s, just goes back to the high where it was, this already is a 1 to 2 risk reward trade, meaning I'm passing the challenge. It's actually fucking genius, guys. Like more and more I think about this, don't mean it. Like, bro, here if my stop loss is $100. I get a challenge for $100. My stop loss is $100. If I lose the account, but I would have lost that money on the stop loss. But if this happens, I have a $5,000 account. If I make 2% profit on that, I recurred my investment. It's literally a no-brainer, like I'm telling you. Anyway, so I actually have a full video on this. I'm gonna put it up here, and I'm also gonna put it on the end screen. You can check the whole logic behind. I might do another one. If you want another one, let me know in the comment section. If this is still not clear, let me know in the comment section. I can do another one. But this is what I'm going to do. Very important, S&P. I want to see what the S&P is doing. That's the question, right? Like this. I mean, it can happen. Like you see, this has been grinding up forever. Like it can happen that there is no correction. It's just, but when it comes, I mean, that's like fudged. I mean, there is still, it can go up another 10% or even more considering the previous waves. If you look here, though, look at this, though. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. You see, like, I don't know. I would be very cautious here with the S&P. If the S&P starts correcting. Also, it's very important that some of the tokens, like you can look at Tesla. Tesla has corrected. Like, Tesla is down 20% from the highs in December. You can look at Nvidia. Nvidia is down about 12% from the highs. So like you can look at these companies and then you can just evaluate the fact that they have been correcting, even though it's not the S&P and NASDAQ. We can look at the NASDAQ as well. It's not the S&P and it's not the NASDAQ is down as well. The NASDAQ is down 5%. It has been down about 10% in November. So I would not be surprised if this starts correcting, but for the weekend, again, I'm just talking about this. I do believe that 70,000+ Bitcoin is absolutely doable. That would be about a 10% pump. I do think it's happening this weekend or possibly early next week, depending on how the Iran talks go as well. If you want more update on this, please remember this. Please remember, subscribe, because 22% of you are not subscribed. Check out this video, and if you want me to make one of these, another one, let me know, and I'm going to explain more of a step-by-step tutorial. I'll see you in the next one. Join in the community. Yeah, see you.